Sláinte, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you're all doing well. Give you a little hint to my guest today. We're starting off with an Irish coffee. Ooh, still nice and hot. Let's see who we all have in here. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, do all that fun stuff that YouTube likes us to do. They make it super fun. Hey, cheers, Anthony, Bourbon Neophyte. Cheers, you magnificent Irish whiskey people. It is good to see you, Anthony. Let me know if you're going live tonight. Drop your link in here if you are. Hey, cheers, Marty. Whiskey Nose. Cheers to you, sir. Let's go. Here is Katie Turk. Cheers, all. We have Mr. Mom 310 here for some Sunday feel-good time. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Sugar Kitty. How are you, good sir? It is good to see you. Oh, thank you, Anthony. Reminding everybody before I even had a chance to. Don't forget to smash that like button. Thank you, Anthony. We have Peter White. Cheers, Peter White. It is good to see you as always. Let's see, I want to make sure I got everybody. And Amy O'Byrne's Irish Pub. Good evening, everyone. Amy, we got to schedule our stream. I don't think we nailed down a date yet. We may have. And I hope my internet is okay because it's showing me that it's been struggling lately. We've been having internet issues all weekend. It's been wonky. Before I bring on my guests, I do want to thank everyone who has reached out with your condolences for our Irish Wolfhound Magner. It really means a lot. You know, it's never an easy thing to have to deal with. So I truly appreciate it from everyone. So I am going to bring out my guests. They are super, super awesome people. I had the pleasure of meeting them last year in person, finally, at Bourbon on the Banks. They are the mind, the genius behind Drifting Drams Coffee. Please help me welcome Drifting Drams, Ethan and Katie Turk.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, you guys.
Cheers, y'all. How's everybody doing?
So because I had you on the show, you know, I had to start with a little Irish coffee. I have a little bit of McConnell sherry finish. I like a porter sherry finish, Irish whiskey with my Irish coffee. Just makes it a little richer. A little nutmeg ground on top. And I used my favorite, the Ethiopian blend.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
We actually have some more Ethiopian getting in here tomorrow. So that's
sweet because I'm on my last bag.
Super excited about it too. So
I did not think that I liked African coffees. I always strayed away from them. And the tasting notes that you guys gave me on this one and another one, I ended up buying them. And I'm like, I actually do like African coffee. Who'd have thunk it?
People discount African coffee sometimes just because it might be a little more fruity than like chocolatey. And we love African coffee. I mean, we love all coffee, but African is one that we really, really enjoy.
Yeah,
I just gone straight. Thank you, Sugar Kitty, because that is something I meant to do and ran out of time.
Thank you, sir.
So I am going to go over here and pin this.
Yeah, I think that Ethiopian coffee in particular, is one that has that African kind of flavor profile that people think of, but it also brings in some nice chocolatey notes. And so it really spans the gap nicely, and it's really approachable for everybody.
Well, in this one, I get kind of like a chocolate-covered cherry.
Yeah.
On this one. So that's kind of why I paired it with this sherry finished Irish. Normally, the other way I've done this too is to actually grate some dark chocolate on top.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But I ran out of time.
It always seems to work that way.
Yeah, it does. Who else? We got Debbie M. Hey, Debbie. It was good to see you yesterday. Eric Gunderson, Mr. Eric Gunderson. Eric, I think you're the one that sent me the Lefroy Cardaris sample. My husband thoroughly enjoyed that one Friday with a cigar. He ended up splitting it with his buddy.
Nice.
So you guys sent me a flight. It's been ages ago. And it's one of those things, I kept meaning, I'm like, oh man, I got to get with them and do this flight. And I'm super excited about it because I still am learning about bourbon.
Yeah, no, there might be a few other things in there, but it's in the American realm of things.
All right, so I'm gonna jump in and start off with a.
Yeah. And you tell us how you want us to do it. If you want to go bottle by bottle, or if you want to do taste through them all, it's whatever your preference is.
Oh, I'm gonna get through them all.
We just want to,
I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna quit her. I'm gonna get through them all.
we just wanted you to be able to enjoy them.
Yeah.
Well, so.
Oh no, I'm not gonna pour all of them. I do like to go back because I do think if you taste something once, it is really hard to really wrap your head around it and pick it apart.
Yeah. Well, especially because it changes, right? Like you're
exactly, and
what's in front of it and behind it and all that.
Thank you, Sugar Kitty, for letting me know that I thoroughly butchered the hell out of that. Cargus. Okay, thank you. Hey, Donner. Cheers to you, Donner Pass Whiskey and the Whiskey Loft. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Whiskey Loft. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah.
So we are doing a bourbon flight with drifting drams.
Yeah,
I'm killing my palate for bourbon, drinking Irish coffee.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we started with just some, obviously Katie has her iced coffee too, but just a 1792 bottled and bond.
I love iced coffee too. I've been doing the heck out of that too. I've been doing like caramel and caramel macchiato syrup. Ooh. Hey, cheers, James Morgan. So one of the things I know I struggle with when I first get into bourbon is trying to find notes and everything, because a lot of, I think it's similar to people who are tasting Irish whiskey, like, oh, it just tastes like, sugar cookies, or it tastes like, vanilla or apple. So, and I get that with bourbon, sometimes you're like, well, it just tastes like brown sugar and cherries. What are some tips that you guys would say, for people, go trying different coffees? What are tips that you have for going into it?
Let Ethan start on that one.
Oh, geez.
Because you guys drink kind of whiskey across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
You've Scotch and Irish, and
I think the biggest thing to me is just don't overthink it, right? Like there are plenty of times where I come across a note and I'm thinking like, what is this? Like it's kind of like this, but it's not really. It's kind of like this, and I kind of like talk myself through figuring out what the heck I'm tasting, right? And especially it's really awesome in a group because I'll say something. And especially if we're tasting like the same bottle, then as I'm saying, like, oh yeah, I kind of get that, but it's not really. It's like, yeah, it's more like this, and like we'll kind of work together and come to the note, right? It's really cool to do that collaboratively because there's so often where I just can't pin it down exactly, but I have like there's something in the back of my mind, like I know this flavor. It's like earthy, but not super earthy, and but there's like some floral too. And that's how I do it.
I mean, I think you should enjoy it with friends, and like Ethan said, like just bouncing ideas off. It's always fun to taste with a group of people. So you can enjoy it together. One, it's meant to be enjoyed together for us.
That is true, because sometimes you'll be struggling, but somebody else will just say something, and you realize that's exactly what you're identifying. You just can't,
mental block or
mentally,
something.
Just can't mentally identify it at the moment.
And so, kind of our reasoning, if you want to know, behind the flight was, we know you enjoy Penelope.
Yes.
And so we wanted to kind of stay in that same vein of, introducing you to some other brands that you might not have had. You might have had them all by now. Who knows? Or you might not have. So that was kind of our reasoning for it. Ethan doesn't.
I am a big Penelope fan. I do like it. I don't know. It's just their 4-grain mash bill, I think, just lends itself to Irish whiskey drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
This first one I really like. Then I do get some of the barrel on the nose on this one.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a little bit older.
Yeah, it's rich. And the thing about Irish, I know like a lot of people get that sugar cookie note. Spoiler alert, it is on a lot of Irish whiskey. It's just there. Yeah. So you're not wrong. Just to spew out sugar cookie or apple. I joke whenever you don't know, just like if you ever are in a blind flight and have to guess if Irish is finished, guess finish, because it usually is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my favorite Irish note is always that tropical pineapple note on older Irish. Like that's like my happy place when it comes out.
That's a bourbon cast finish note. You only get that when it's been in a bourbon cast finish for a long time.
Gotcha.
Like you got to get into the into the 20s, and it starts to get. I've got a couple of those, and it's got that note, and then the grapefruit is on that one too.
Yeah, I think the first time that we had like an Irish that was that way was it's a Teeling Private cast from Benny's. It's a 15-year, but it's finished in Amburana, so it's like cinnamon coated pineapple, which delicious. Amburana this was like in the early stages of Amburana coming into the whiskey market as far as being finished and stuff, and we saw.
I don't think I've ever had an Irish finished in Amburana.
Yeah, we'll have to send you some.
It's still, it hasn't gotten there. Amontillado is kind of the Amburana for Irish whiskey now. You're starting to see Amontillado pick up big time.
It's funny you say that, because when we were in Houston, I guess maybe in April, it's
it's the Irish version of Amburana. It's starting to show up everywhere.
Yeah. It's 16 years old with 28 months in Amontillado.
We got Tommy D jumping in here. Doug H. Cheers, Doug H.
Cheers to you guys.
It's good to see you guys.
Those two guys just raised the average age by like 20 years.
I love watching the Friday at Fred's. That's one of my favorite streams. It's like such a hoot. Teeling Amburana sold.
Yeah, it was a crazy bottle. We bought it like on the off chance because we thought it was a little crazy to work, And then we were actually going up to see Jason and Scott. They were up at Scott's place in Wisconsin. We found it in Benny's just across the border from Wisconsin. And we get up there, we try it. We were just like, wow. We gave it to Jason because you know how he is about Amburana, right? Oh, and like just try it, right? It's not your normal Amburana. It's we think you'll like it. He tried it.
I can already picture the eye roll.
I know, right? He was all right, you get one shot. I'll try it. I'm like, all right, cool. He tried it and he was like, Can y'all find me a bottle of this? It's like, I think we can do that.
Irish it tastes very differently to cast finishes than bourbon does. And I think a bourbon's a little trickier to get the cast finish right. I think Irish is kind of a blank canvas for it, and bourbon you really gotta. It really is a balancing act to get those finishes right. Yeah. So A is delicious.
Yeah, for me, I get like a buttercream frosting almost on the finish. It's like that.
Yeah. It actually does remind me of those Springer cookies, those German cookies that have a little anise.
Oh.
That are real buttery.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like butter cookies. That is delicious.
Yeah, I'm getting like a little bit of a yellow cake note with that Irish. Irish, listen to me, I've got Irish on the brain. With that, French vanilla frosting.
See that? This guy.
The second one, breathe a minute. I'm going to go back to the first one.
Well,
let me know in chat what you guys are all drinking tonight. If you're having a pour yet, if you are just having a water, if you're watching the Browns Bengals game and you're a Browns fan, I know you're already drinking.
Yeah, no joke. I feel for y'all.
At least we got rid of him. That's all I can say. At least he's gone. Unfortunately, we don't Flacco anymore, but at least he's gone.
As a Louisianian, I feel like I have a unique insight into how y'all feel.
Yeah.
The Saints have had some good years here in the past 5 or 10 years, but for so long, it was just...
We haven't. And they're trying to move the stadium. I think you'd be shocked at the average age. Hey, cheers, Pecker House. Thank you for joining us today. It's good to see you. We got Tater Dom. Cheers, Stacy, Katie, Ethan, and everyone.
Tater. Like what you were saying with Irish, like taking well to like a finish better than maybe bourbon. I feel like in rye does better in finishing casks.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right. That spiciness. There's just something about it.
So now I'm going back to it. I'm starting to get that vanilla frosting, but it's not the same vanilla frosting that I typically get with like a Jameson. This is more like your homemade vanilla frosting, where I get more of the metallic kind of out of a tube
Right.
kind of that metallic-y fake kind of vanilla. This is like a rich, like grandma made and frosted the cake vanilla frosting.
Yep.
I got cookies and I got those herbal, a little bit of an anise note, and then I got that vanilla frosting note.
Yeah, I'm getting like that creamy cream cheese, slightly sweet,
Yeah.
but not really sweet. Yep.
Yeah, it's not overly sweet. Yeah, that's lovely. Hey, cheers, CA Scotty. It is good to see you.
Yeah,
Cheers.
I'm drinking some water before I stream, but I did have a wee dram of rum for lunch.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
Ooh.
Lunch
You know what? I've got a rum you might enjoy, Anthony. I've got a blackberry rum that is 65%, 63% ABV.
Interesting.
So
from Cologne.
Blackberry somehow?
We're
actually infused.
Oh, I think it's on the floor. Otherwise, I would grab it and tell you.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
That's crazy enough to
I'll
work.
grab it after the stream and yeah. Might have to include that one in the flight. It's from Cologne.
Okay.
And I actually also then have a whiskey that's been finished in that cask. And it's flipping good.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
I was gonna say, if you say floor whiskey 3 times, Jeff Black might appear.
He doesn't have that far to go to get to me either. He's only like an hour and a half down the road.
Right.
Sugar Kitty is drinking Adna Merkin. That is a scotch I'm kind of interested in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
cheers. A little scallywag blend for me and the espresso edition for Katie and Ethan. I like that scallywag. That is a good one.
I don't think I've had that one.
I've had that one and one other that I can never remember. Oh, Anthony says yes, please on the rum. Yeah, I'll definitely have to get that to you. Oh, hey, John Cloud.
Oh,
cheers
nice.
to you. Happy Sunday.
Cheers, John.
And Ben, extremely exhausted, wanted to stop and say hi. Cheers to you, Ben.
Cheers,
Thank
Ben.
you for joining us.
Hopefully you'll get some rest before the work week starts.
Okay.
And Slapshot's Roadhouse jumping in. Cheers, Slapshot.
Cheers, Brian.
It's good. You guys with channels, make sure you're dropping your links in here. I think I've made all of you that have channels mods. I'm pretty sure I have. Possibly. Let me know if I haven't. Oh, you're getting over a cold and flu. So sip water, Powerade, and blackberry lemonade. And let me tell you, and I think you heard me say this last week, Mr. Mom, I'm convinced that poaching keeps you from getting a cold and flu. Because when I was in Ireland, I had more poaching than I ever normally drink. And it's the first time I've come back from vacation, because normally you're flying from another country, you're through airports, you get sick. You just pick something up. I didn't this time, which is so weird. That's the only thing I think I did different, as I drank a ton of poaching. Oh, you're not home yet. Well, drive safe, Ben.
It's interesting.
All right, so I moved on to 2.
Yep, that's what we.
Ooh, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I have the memory of a goldfish, so I have zero idea what any of these are.
I was actually impressed because I'm normally the person who has to get a hold of you and say, hey, can you take a picture of what I sent? Because I never even wrote it down.
Yeah.
I have it in a keep note on my phone. Like, I just had to search my keep notes.
That's a really good idea. That is a really good idea. I need to start doing that.
We use keep notes for all kinds of stuff because it's easy to share between each other, right? We can share with other people. It's just so simple.
You on iPhone?
Any of them, yeah.
Oh.
iPhone, Android. You can use it in a web browser. Just keep.google.com.
I'm gonna have to do that
automatically.
I think of all, so the 2 years I've been doing this channel, I think one time I actually wrote down what I had sent, and that was when I sent them to Trev to Bourbon Ranch.
Oh, nice.
And that's been the only time that I've ever written it down. Even just last week, I'm like, Mark, can you tell me what I sent you?
Well, it's probably good if you're going to write it down for anybody. It was for you wrote it down for Trev because he has supervision.
He does. Oh.
Oh, hey, Donald.
Cheers, Donald.
Cheers, Donald. It's good to see you.
I'm getting
I
familiar.
sent Donald a care package. I cleared off most of my shelf for him, and honestly, I've still got more to send. The box wouldn't hold anymore.
Sometimes that happens.
It's a good day.
This one I'm almost getting like toffee.
I could see that.
It's
Yeah,
definitely sweeter than the first one.
Yes.
It's a lot more. There's a fair amount of barrel influence too. I'm getting like that, almost like a light whiskey, rummy. Like, there's a certain barrel note that almost like singed barrel that I get. That I'm kind of getting a little bit of that off this one.
So kind of like brown sugar that's gone just a little too far in the pan.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Or like if you're making caramel and it's almost to the stage where it's starting to become molten. That's
a common note with cologne. And I actually do get that sometimes on Dunvilles, although that's just from being a sherry cask that long. Sometimes you're going to get those. It's kind of like a pencil shaving kind of note. But the cologne, because they will wheel it outside and let it naturally ferment, sometimes we'll get that. People are oh, it's peated. It's not actually peated. It's that burnt sugar kind of note.
Yeah.
But that does explain the sweetness, because this is it's sweeter on the nose than the first one.
Yeah. So that drinks almost light whiskey-ish, but not quite. I'm kind of wondering if it isn't one of those 99-1 mash bills, the 99 corn, 1 barley.
Yeah, I would have said that was light whiskey. It drinks a little. I mean, I don't know what the proof is, but it almost drinks like it's a little bit hotter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's one that definitely drinks its proof.
It's oily as heck, too.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to... There's a note that I can't place. It's almost like the bottle cap candy. You know, the bottle.
Like that
it's got there's a waxy.
Yeah.
Chalky, waxy.
Yeah, the waxy.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's been a
bottle
while.
cap candy is actually a really good note for that.
Yeah.
Or what is it, like the fruit strips that have the powder on them? Like the fruit tape candy that has that powder coating.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, I like that one. It's different than the first. I still think A.
Those are really different.
A is definitely my jam.
Yeah, I think I gravitate more towards A.
A is
I
good.
like B though.
B is like candy though, right?
Oh yeah, that's candy.
A is dessert, but B is just like cheap, sugary, rot your teeth candy.
It really is. I mean, it even has notes of the candy. That's why, when you said it drinks like a light whiskey and like that, if I didn't know if that was in a blind, I would have thought that was a light whiskey.
Oh man. I knows the 1702 bottle of Bond again. Wow.
Really different.
They're in a Laffy Taffy.
Do y'all get a lot of 1792 up there? Have y'all had some of those expressions?
The regular 1792 we can always get. And that's always on the shelf. There are certain things that always are here. You guys know Weller. They dropped Weller SR again yesterday. I could have got it.
Yeah.
I didn't. I got the Baker 7, the high rye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I picked that up yesterday. That's flipping good. I put a big dent in that one yesterday.
Yeah, I think
crap. I gotta lay off that.
I think Baker's is probably one of my favorite bottles in the Beam lineup. I know there's a reason it's on the table. It's good.
Yeah, I looked at the back of the bottle. I'm like, that's a Beam.
Yeah, I know, right? Yep.
I wouldn't have thought that. I got a Pikesville rye. I like Pikesville rye.
Yep.
Just to have. They had the new rabbit hole. I didn't get it, but they had that the Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole.
Probably expensive, right?
It was a little more, but they sold several of them.
Oh.
Okay.
The rest of it was just, Bib and Tucker, normal.
Yeah.
Normal stuff. And then they had the Weller SR back there.
Yeah, Ethan and I don't really care for rabbit hole too much. It's not awful, but it's the price is the hard part with
exactly.
for what you're getting. Now, what Ethan does like are those. When we were out in California this summer,
oh yeah,
we went to a cigar shop that's over by Vic and Ed, and they had a barrel from Whiskey Row series, the Diesel PX Sherry finished ones, but it was from like 2020, so they've just been sitting in this shop. And he smoked one the other night again, and he's like, "This is so much better than what I remember it being." So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I've got my husband a couple of those cigars. He really liked them.
Yeah.
Let me solo you. Hold on here.
The camera's focusing on us.
There it goes. There it goes.
Yeah, it's but so I will say the newer versions of it are not quite as good as the older versions. I don't know if they changed up the tobacco or what, but
or maybe the fact that it just aged longer.
It's possible too. Yeah, extra couple of years in it good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Rabbit Hole is good whiskey. It's just bad value.
It's overpriced. John and I have actually gone into a store and seen a 107 on the shelf, but
nice.
It's only been once. For the most part, he's right. I mean, if you're not waiting in line, you have to get there not long after they open.
Yeah.
Because it does usually go quick. But we get it frequently.
Well, and now, especially with Bardstown having the high wheat out, right?
Yeah.
Why fight for 107 when that one's 106, similar profile?
Hey, cheers, Whiskey Nature. It's good to see you. It was going to be a dry Sunday. Well, I'll pour an Erador 12. Some dirty sherry won't hurt.
Nice.
All right. So number 3, first thing I'm noticing, it's quite a bit darker.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess, I would say sherry.
Yep. Oh, that's a big girl.
You all right?
Yep. Hit the back of the throat a little bit.
Oh, that's the worst.
I'm an amateur. Don't worry.
That's the worst. You're handling it much better than me. I'd be over here.
Don't worry, I'm crying a little.
Oh, John saw a Remus 5 on a shelf in Indiana. Had to pass $7.99 in a 3-bottle set with a 6 and 7.
Oh no!
Ouch!
Mm.
Ouch!
Mm-mm.
And James is having signatory, doing good things here.
Oh, some of those signatory bottles are outstanding.
We've seen a couple in Houston that we were tempted to get.
Well, we've got a. Geez, it's the heavy sherry one. Oh, jeez. Is it a Glenallachie?
Glenallachie. Yeah.
Glenallachie heavy sherry signatory. Like it is. No, it's Mortlock. It's a Mortlock signatory. Yeah. And it's a freaking sherry bomb. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh.
We haven't gotten into signatory, but we've got a couple of the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society bottles. And one of them is Oloroso. It's like a second fill Oloroso. One of them, I think, is a first fill PX. And their cast strength's so freaking good.
Yep.
And after you have those, it just kind of ruins you.
It does. Yeah. I think the one that we have is it's a first fill, complete mature in sherry. Just, oh my gosh.
In high school, Dirty Sherry was the girl you wanted to take to the homecoming game.
Oh, man.
Love Mortlock. I kind of like Mortlock. It's one that I forget about. I think it's one of those that you like it, but you just kind of forget you have it. You don't really. It's not one that jumps out at you all the time. You're for one of my faves, Cologne Hungarian Oak.
Nice. I bet that is delicious.
It was. It is. I don't even know if I have any anymore, to be honest. I think that's one of the ones that's gone now. I do have one of their own distillate then finished in that cask and a Pinot Noir cask.
Ooh.
And it's lightly peated.
That sounds like a recipe for an outstanding whiskey.
It's so good. Oh, their whiskeys drink so much above their age. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Signatory 12-year cask strength Macallan dropped in Alberta last week. 112 Canadian, not a bad price. That's actually not.
That's not, especially not if it's a true Macallan sherried whiskey.
Yeah.
the newer bourbon casks are good, but those older sherried whiskeys they had, oh my gosh, it's just there's a reason they were so hyped.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers, Steven Scone, Shelf Sippers. How are you doing?
Steven? Mm-hmm.
I like that one a lot.
That one's really good. I'm gonna say it's almost definitely finished in some sort of red wine.
Yeah, it has a little bit of like a tannic dryness at the end of it.
Yep. Yep. I'm getting oiliness, grapiness, and a little bit of tannin there.
Yeah. It's got to be some kind of sherry too, because it could just be me. I'm getting a little bit of a nutty note on that.
Okay.
Like a light almond.
I was going to say
very
well could be sherry.
It finishes all grapey and has that dryness that you get with like a red wine finish.
Exactly. Yep. Man. It's so nice and oily. It just kind of sits.
That is really oily.
Yeah. And it doesn't drink super hot.
No, it does drink hotter than the first one. I think it's probably about even with the second as far as it doesn't finish as harsh though. Even with that dryness, like the second one I got, that's proofy. But this one you don't really get that. You get that warmth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It drinks incredibly hot on the back of the throat.
Yeah.
Going down, it didn't taste that hot, but I'm getting like that little spot right there that tells me, yeah, it is.
Yep. I think that's
that short cookie like an Irish. I don't know what a Glentousher's.
I don't either.
Yeah.
It's probably. I'm wondering if it's like one of the old dead distilleries.
Hard Truth Sweet Mash Single Barrel Store Pick for $50.
That's a great price.
Yeah, that is a really good one. John, did you get that in Indiana or Ohio? Because you'd mentioned you were shopping both of them. That would be Indy Sherry, not a distillery in McAllen. That's generally why you buy Indy, not to have that terrible matchstick sulfur. Yeah, you can get it's that pencil shaving sulfur note it's sat in a sherry cask for a long time. I've gotten that on a few. Dunvilles, you can get that sometimes on the Dunvilles. Peter has a Spamel 21-year Macallan from G&M. Was kind of a steal at 385 Canadian, considering what they are now.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, the Macallan 18 is like 320 US these days.
Yeah. Last Macallan I picked up was the number 5. And I only did it because I do think it's kind of cool how they collaborated with the Pantone color people to actually create a color for a whiskey. I thought that was kind of a cool concept.
Oh, interesting.
Unfortunately, the whiskey doesn't really live up to that.
Oh, way too often that happens.
Yeah.
I think the last Macallan, we bought probably the Folio when we were over there, the Folio 5.
Probably, yeah.
But that was in 2020.
Yeah, Macallan's one of those things, like if I'm there, I probably would buy it. But if I'm not there, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, they knew what they were doing. Let's say that. They knew what they were doing. They like threw it in at the very end of the tasting. Like, oh, yeah, we guess you can try this.
And we might have some for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how Redbreast works now.
Oh, really? Is that,
like,
was
yeah,
that your,
only these people over here are going to know that it's actually just a proof down version of something we already offered. It's still good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is still good. Oh my! Bourbon School. Hey, cheers!
Oh.
Cheers, Bourbon School.
Yeah, cheers.
Happy Sunday, all. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, I think so.
And Kilco.
Oh, cheers.
Kilco, I thought I saw that you were not going live at 7, but let me know if that is not wrong.
I know he was in, probably down in Austin. I know.
Yeah, I thought you streamed. I thought I saw a pop up that you streamed when I was trying to get everything ready.
I've got to fix this camera. Sorry, it's bothering the mess out of me. It's slightly unlevel.
That's okay.
I know. I tried to fix it earlier and it did not. It just for me, as it did for you.
What you guys don't never see is me coming up here an hour before the stream and farting around with the camera because I'm like, the shelves are still crooked. Yeah, moving the damn thing back and forth.
Drives me nuts.
The lighting, I'm still like, all right.
That's better.
It feels dark, but if I put it up one more, I look like I'm ethereal because it's so freaking bright.
You look like Sean from Bourbon Junkies.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's you guys are all talking scotch.
Yep.
Oh, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything in here.
Well, yeah, Ethan zoomed out because like our dog Lady has decided like when we're up here on people's streams, she has to sit on the couch with one of us. She doesn't care who, but she's not going to share the seat. So one of us ends up putting like a folding chair like to my left. And so one sits in a folding chair, one sits on the couch, and she has her spot.
Our Frenchie was in here, and she likes to lay right on my foot through the whole stream. So until I wrap up, she's on my foot. Now, luckily, she has found a bone, and she's somewhere over there.
Hey, that's all you could ask for.
Yep,
yeah.
That's great.
So I'm like, all right, oh, you will be going live. Took the time to make your thumbnail. Talk about the next month's huge raffle. Okay.
Awesome.
Kilco, we will be wrapped up by then, so everybody can make sure that they jump in your stream and check that out. All right.
You ready
so
for
this is
four?
the.
Ooh. Ooh. All right.
Now this is lighter.
Yeah, definitely doesn't have the color that C had.
Ooh.
Yeah. I got my nose way in that glass and I regretted it.
Yeah, I didn't even go that far into it because I heard you, and I'm like, it's a little alcohol-y there.
A little proofy.
Oh, thank you, James.
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate it. It was not expected, even though it was a 7-year-old dog. But cancer sucks across the board.
That's right.
Yep.
I don't know if y'all heard ours, but they just went outside making a ruckus.
This almost got like a funky note. And I get the same note kind of on Henry McKenna.
Okay.
I don't know if it's rye or anise or what.
So yeah, I'm not one of those people who's real sensitive to anise, so that's not something that
I enjoy it. So I usually, if it's there, which one of the things we did when we were in Ireland, we did this. It's called a sensorium thing, and it was actually this group in Belfast sets us up and has you smell and taste different things, and even shows how things like sound and color can actually impact your taste. So they would play like a pulsating light with crazy images, kind of like Clockwork Orange, and have you drink and say, now does your drink taste sweeter? And it was crazy. It actually, I'm like, tastes freaking sweeter. It was amazing.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, and how base kind of makes your drink taste not as sweet. And, smoke will actually just even, tasteless smoke will add, it's just your perception of things.
Yep.
But my husband did find out that we are sensitive to sour things. We're sensitive to sweet things. So they called us super tasters, where we kind of react with a more adverse reaction to things that are just too much.
Yeah.
Which I actually do. I don't like things that are overly sweet. I don't like Sour Patch Kids and things like that.
See, I love all the sour candy.
Yeah.
I don't like grapefruit. I don't like Sour Patch.
Yeah, grapefruit is not for me. I'm sensitive to bitter. Which is really funny from somebody who does coffee.
You're sensitive to what?
The bitterness.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
Katie's attitude is the worst bitterness.
There we go. I was waiting for something like that. Okay.
Yeah, bitter, sour. It's just like I have a lane and shit has to hit in that lane.
Yep.
Or I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy though. Like the human mind is so powerful. It's so much more powerful than any of us realize. Yeah. I don't think it's
probably. Plaid and Paisley from the 1970s, because you probably have to be back there to make it palatable.
Well, I guess he did say better, not good.
It's not bad. It's just bland. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're hypersensitive. That's right. I remember that, Sugar Kitty. I remember us talking about that you're hypersensitive to anise. You'll know if I've gotten that note if you see me reaching for the waste bucket the next half hour. Yeah. Might be that fleece oat. No, don't know if the evidence stands up. Yeah, it was if you guys are ever find yourself in Belfast, it was really cool, fun night. They actually you had to pick certain things based on your experience for the night. Like I think mine was like apple and oak and sweet and different things like that. And then they actually made you a cocktail at the end of the night based on what you picked in this test. And it was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty good, but I mean, don't know if they hit it 100%, but it was a fun night. It was a lot of fun. And their cocktails, then they have an actual cocktail menu, but they don't tell you the names of it. They just tell you certain like identifiers like that, and you have to pick, and then you see what you end up with. And I ended up with like this apple tea kind of thing that was really good. I actually liked it better than the one they made for me.
That sounds like an interesting experience.
It was really kind of neat. It was kind of like, we pick the certain cocktails we do just out of habit. And if you venture outside of that, although my husband did make up a good point, he's like, well, sometimes, it might be one of a thing where, a guy might like, something super fruity and tropical. He's not going to go into a bar and buy that.
Yeah.
He's going to get the more manly drink, but it was really, really interesting. It was a really fun night.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me whiskey neat with the side of pencil shavings.
Yeah. I'll take whiskey and ice on the side and nothing else.
That's funny.
Pick out a banana note really fast. Yeah, it's amazing what notes that you just instantly can pick up.
Yes.
See, and that's where it's funny for me because I hate bananas. Hate them.
The smell of them.
Anything, right? So I never ate them growing up.
Yes, you did.
And well, no, never growing up. Only when I was a baby. I was tortured with them.
So this, I do get a bitterness on it.
A bitterness?
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. It's not an off-putting bitterness for me, but there is more bitterness. It also seems a little bit thinner to me.
It does seem thinner, but it's spicy.
It is. Yep.
It drinks almost like it's hotter, but it's just thinner overall. It doesn't taste as oily.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So you were saying about because you used to eat bananas.
Oh yeah. So like because of that, I can almost never pick up a banana nip. Because it's just like it's smell and taste is all experiential, right? It's memory based. I don't have a memory of that. So I just can't pick it up. And for me, it's just like there'll be a hole in the tasting notes. And then Katie will say banana. And I'm like, oh, yep, that's what it is. All the time.
Especially
anise, I pick up really easy. I think marzipan, like almonds and the candied almond, I pick up that like that. Nutty notes, things like that. Red berries like blackberry, raspberry, I tend to pick those up, but
yeah,
but there'll be some things like apricot. I'm like, okay. Sometimes yeah, but sometimes no.
Yeah, I love those white fruit notes.
But also sometimes you'll get that where somebody's trying, like you put freaking mango, a peach, and an apricot together, and you tell me you're picking the exact one. You're full of crap.
Right.
Agreed.
They all taste the same.
Except for every once in a while. Every once in a while,
it's like
a certain flavor.
Out,
yeah, exactly. It's like, yep, it is 100% that.
Sometimes it is very, very prominent.
But usually I'm with you. It's just like, white fruit.
When they're listing it like the fourth or fifth thing, you're like, you're full of crap.
Yep.
Yeah, some of the notes.
Oh yeah.
Stephen is sensitive to pungent notes like pickles, mustard, vinegar.
See, and I love those. The sour, spicy notes, love them.
It's interesting because real banana flavor is a different chemical from the banana-like oil that is found in whiskey and some beers.
And that completely tracks because I don't mind it in whiskey.
Mine's in beer.
But in beer, yes, beer, it's not okay. I don't know why. Something about it in beer is different.
Weird in beer.
and it is, right? But then an actual banana will just run me out of the room.
Yeah, he doesn't like Belgians.
All you have to do is just peel it. That's all you have to do. Just peel it. And I'm like, nope. No.
Mango is so distinct. I love mangoes. I do, but sometimes if it's buried in a whiskey, it's hard. It is hard to pick that out between a peach and I mean, granted, if you get a peach and a mango and a banana in front of you, or a peach and mango and a apricot in front of you, and you start nosing each one, yeah, you can pick them apart. But off mental memory, apparently, I'm not eating enough peaches and mangoes and apricots to really be able to nail it down. It's one of those I struggle with. I usually have to go back to it repeatedly in the whiskey to figure out which one it is, which is why I typically only do one review a day, because I'm impressed by those of you who could do like 4 or 5 reviews a day. I'm usually schnockered after the second. So
yeah, I know that feeling.
And if I try to do a third, it never gets shown. I always end up tossing it. Although I should like save them for Patreon.
That would be
Crystal shavings, graphite, like Mobile One motor oil. Oh, you think almond marzipan comes across the cherry note? I get more of the almond and the marzipan note. I bake with it and have had so much stolen that have had marzipan filling. So I think that's why I can usually zero in on that one. Prominent note in Red Bristol Stout. That's that prominent note you get in that one. Is that marzipan note? Oh, generation use a PB high lead content. Stephen, I don't like dill pickles.
Mm-mm.
I like sweet ones, but I don't like dill pickles. You do 3 reviews a day most of the time. Stephen, let me make sure you are a mod so you could drop your link in here. There you go. You should be a mod now. You can drop the link to your channel in here.
Mango papaya.
That one's
mangoes and papayas are so much complicated player. Yeah.
Interesting.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
He is just a wealth of information.
He is.
All right. We're on 5.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. I moved. I was 1 glass short, so I moved glass 1 to the last one, so it threw me off for a minute. This one kind of looks like it could be sherry as well.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. If it is, then on this one, I definitely see what y'all are talking about, that matchstick note. I don't normally get that matchstick note off sherry, but on this one, I could see it.
Well, it depends on how long. It's a sign that it's been in the sherry cask too long, typically. Or just a lot of Irish, like Dunvilles will purposefully mature it in a freaking sherry cask that long. And it is that matchstick or that, like pencil lead, like pencil with the wood kind of note. And it is, once you recognize it, it's a distinctive note. Not a flavor chemist, but I've played one in sales meetings.
Fake it till you make it.
Ah, there you go. Thank you.
That's, man, so oily and grapey.
Now, grapes doesn't make me think it's sherry. It makes me think it's more some kind of red wine.
It's very oily.
It smells grapey. It smells almost like an Eagle Rare.
Yeah, I do. I get that matchstick note, though, that you're talking about. I would normally put that to like a certain type of barrel influence, but I get that on this one.
I mean, maybe it is.
If I had to guess, I would have guessed sherry on this. I don't really get grape on the palate. Well, yeah, I am kind of on the finish there. There is grape.
Mm-hmm.
On the nose, it's like all grapes. So.
Oh, yeah, on the nose. That's what reminded me of Eagle Rare, because I get like Grape Nerds candy on the nose of that.
Well, on a good one, yeah. The bad ones are Robitussin. Ugh.
Well, I didn't. Thank God I don't have that one.
We've only had one that way.
Yeah.
The finish, yeah, is I did get that grape. It's like end palate.
Mm-hmm.
This one you almost need like 2 sips like together so that you can.
You do. The second sip is a little bit less tannic, a little bit less bitter.
It's a lot of cherry.
Yes, it does become cherry for me on the second sip. I agree. Yep. But a good cherry, like a Bing cherry or Rainier. Nah, not a Rainier. It's not tart enough.
It's reminding me of the Luxardo cherries in my fridge.
I can see that. Although I've never had a Luxardo that hasn't been doused in syrup. So
that's what I'm getting is that's sugary kind of syrup, like the syrup cherry. I mean, it's not overly sweet, but it is a little sweeter.
Yeah. That's good though.
I like that one a lot.
I like that one.
I like it.
It's drier too.
It is.
Than the last one. Super oily. I wish you could see it. It's freaking oily.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think 3 is still a little bit ahead of that one for me.
I like that one more than 3, and I'm actually starting to get vanilla. Like vanilla extract on that now.
Yeah, I get that on the very finish.
Vanilla bean, yeah.
Where it's not.
Hey, Joe.
Exactly.
Cheers, Joe.
Yeah,
cheers, you good sir.
Yeah, it's not a sweet vanilla at all.
And I know Joe.
No, it's a real vanilla, like vanilla bean or like pure vanilla extract. It's vanilla.
I know Joe was talking in Vic's chat last night. I think ASMR whiskey. He's doing a fundraiser for his son that has type 1 diabetes.
Yes.
So I think Joe's helping him out with some kind of maybe stream, maybe bottle giveaway. Joe,
if you can, if you have any details you could give us.
Yeah, there's like a GoFundMe style fundraiser going on, I think.
I do have some bottles I can toss in, Joe. So I'll throw in an Irish in there. I know I've got extra of the Cologne rum and raisin rum.
Oh.
I always have backups upon backups upon backups.
JC in chat, he sent us a sample of that one, and we have yet to dive into it. We've had it before. I think OH gave us a sample, or we tried it with him, and it's so good.
Yeah,
it's really good. Everything that he makes, and if you've seen like my stream from last week when I was showing the pictures, if you see the video I did, the short video, to see the size of the distillery that he is working with, and he's got 2 small handmade Portuguese stills in the corner, copper pot stills. He's got 2 worm tub condensers in a room that's smaller than a 2-car garage. And wow. He is producing all of this amazing whiskey. It's crazy. And then we even hiked you have to hike up the lane to the building where he's got his casks, his storage. They call it a warehouse. It's Rick House, what we call Rick House here. They call it a warehouse over there. And it's up this single lane that they also use to take the sheep from one pasture to the next. So you got to watch, you're watching out for sheep poop while you're walking up there. Goodness. And I mean, it's even the size of basically like a 1-car garage. Like it's small. So I know he just got a cask that was for Scotch fans. It was a Bruichladdich cask, and it was a Rothschild. So it has had a Bruichladdich Scotch finished in a Rothschild cask, and now it is at Cologne. So Cologne is going to put their distillate in it. So it's going to be an Irish whiskey finished in this Scotch cask that's been finished in this very nice cask. So
it'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you say if it was peated Bruichladdich or actual like classic?
Knowing Brendan, it's going to be peated. Even if it wasn't a peated Bruichladdich, he's going to put peated in it probably. Probably won't be. I mean, he won't go as peated with it probably, but he does some really amazing peated whiskeys.
I love peated Irish, and I haven't had that many, but one that I go back to regularly is Teeling, the Black Pits. It's just delicious.
That's a good one.
You typically will drink that one with a cigar, though.
Yes. So.
Oh, thank you, Joe. There's the link, everybody. Make sure you check it out, and we'll keep updating everybody on the stream. So you guys are giving me ideas for having you back on my channel for an Irish flight. I think I'm going to send you to 2 different Irish flights.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I love Irish.
Give me a couple things you like, and then I'm going to send you 2 completely different Irish flights.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's just Irish, especially. I know in Ohio, y'all been getting better Irish selection lately, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
here in Tennessee, especially, you've got like a 6-bottle section of Irish. And it's like, oh well, here you go.
Hey, Mark Vasco. Cheers to you, sir.
Hope you guys are doing great.
Yeah.
Made it in time to say hello. You did. You did. I quit watching the game today.
Oh wow, this one.
Yeah, we have gotten 26 new. Well, last year we got 26 new brands of Irish whiskey in. I'm actually working right now to get Culloden into Ohio. I've kind of introduced Brendan and Culloden Irish whiskey to Ohio Liquor Control. They're going to walk them through the steps of getting, to apply to be in Ohio next year, to go through the whole process. I know Copeland has applied to be in Ohio, which if anybody's watching from OHLQ, I still got to talk to you guys about them. They're awesome. And in February, I think, Clonakilty, if you know Clonakilty, they always do a beer collaboration with a brewery in the state they're in. Well, they've done one for Ohio with Great Lakes Brewery up in Cleveland, and it's their Blackout Stout cask.
Ooh.
So that's supposed to release in February. So yeah, we keep getting more and more great whiskey here.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Hey, cheers, Christine.
Christine.
It's good to see you. All right, I'm gonna nose this last one here.
Oh yeah. Last one.
Then we're gonna reveal what all of these are. I'm excited.
Yep. Have you had a favorite so far? Have you had a favorite so far?
One, and then this last one.
Okay.
So A and E.
A and E.
Although I can tell you right now, F on the nose smells freaking delicious. This smells like butter cookies.
Yeah.
That Blackout Stout is great on its own. Yeah. Speaking of Clonakilty, to Mrs. Turk, who won the Clonakilty giveaway. Yeah. So I'm the admin of the Friends of Clonakilty page on Facebook. For those of you guys who don't know, go over to Facebook and look for Clonakilty Crew. There's going to be all kinds of great giveaways coming in. Our very first giveaway, random drawing, and Katie was one of the winners. Well, I've gotten, it's going to be delayed probably about another week and a half, because Sean Scully of Clonakilty decided he wanted to add to your winnings. So instead of just getting a hat, I don't know what else he sent me, but he said he sent me other things to distribute amongst the winners. So it's supposed to arrive on Friday. He lives out in Portland, Oregon. So he shipped it, and I got the notice that it was supposed to arrive on Friday. So give me another week to get it packaged up. So you'll be getting an autographed hat from Oisin Mulcahy and whatever Sean sent.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. That was
no, it was when they were in town. Poor and Cool came up and handed Oisin the hats, and he just signed them all, and he's like, well, here. I'm like, okay, so I'm leaving with freaking 10 hats. I'm like, what am I going to do with all these hats? I think I had 8 of them. So I still have 3 I'm holding, because I figure we'll do upcoming, but we wanted to do a big one for the first one, so we did 5.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
Yeah, that's really cool. Man,
I have not had luck finding a wide variety of Irish here, but I'm sure there's a place in California. I just haven't found it yet. You are lucky in California that you actually have Folsom Wine and Spirits. It's an online shop in California, and they have they carry a very wide lineup of Culloden and 2 Stacks Irish whiskey. And I think if you're shipping in state, it's probably not going to be that much.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be.
And their prices are reasonable. So check them out, Folsom Wine and Spirits.
Yeah, 2 Stacks is one we have seen in our travel. It always cracks me up, because we see the little I don't know if it's a sampler pack or whatever, but it has the Irish whiskey in a can.
The dram in a can?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
So there are probably 12 different dram in a cans at this point. This is actually this isn't the original. I have the original back here. This is the single malt double barrel. I picked up actually probably 5 more of them in Ireland.
Nice.
That's cool.
They also have their canned Irish cream, which I'm going to be doing a video, guys, on their Irish cream. I'm not kidding. It's the best Irish cream on the market. It's just phenomenal.
Man.
Yeah, you can go into Folsom Wine and Spirits. Definitely give them a call. They carry quite a bit of Irish whiskey, and they have a website so you can check everything out before you go. Oh, cool, Mr. Mom.
Awesome.
If my partner in crime does not approve that when I'm done with the stream, I'll approve the join request. This one smells so good. I mean, it just smells like cookies and like cake.
And I think the palate's better than the nose on that one.
Holy crap, that's so good.
The nose smelled good to me, but a little bit thin. But then the palate was just, wow. Wow, man. Going back through them now.
That's like sugar cookies, but it's got some spice to it too. It reminds me of a single pastel Irish. It's kind of similar to red breast cask strength.
Interesting. It's been a while since we've had red.
It's similar. I mean, I definitely still do get those bourbon barrel tannins.
Yes.
But that is delicious. Yeah, that's new favorite.
New favorite?
That's a new favorite.
Yeah, I don't blame you a bit.
Other channels barely heard of Dram in a can. Stacy takes one right off the shelf to show them. Oh, that's the one you have. That's the green one. That other one was the blue one. There's a red one. There's a lot of them. Sugar Kitty, I'm like that with a lot of Irish. I'm like, what? That? Oh, you mean this? Yeah, some of the secondary, like the Blue Spot, I would not buy at Folsom. It's too high. But the 2 stacks and the Kaloan, I can tell you that's MSRP on there. So the 2 stacks, they have all their cask finish. The apricot brandy is really freaking good. I like that one a lot.
Heck, even the Blue Spot retail's too high these days.
Yeah. It's IDL's lost their mind. I am not a fan of that.
It drives
not
me
a fan of their pricing. The only thing they're new. The Redbreast 18 is, I mean, it's priced according at $250. I get it, but the rest of their pricing is just, and I'm finding out it's actually not Irish distillers. It's Pernod Ricard who's deciding it. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Hey, cheers, AMSR whiskey. It's good to see you. So I have been enjoying an awesome. This is one of the best flights I've had. You guys really did a great job of gearing us to what I like.
We were hoping to do that. So,
and I can't. I would not decline any of these if given to me. I think probably my favorite is. Let me go back to one here. The last one, F, is my definite favorite. That's my number one.
Yeah, I went back through them, and C doesn't hold a candle to F.
Yeah, I like F.
But here's number one. We'll see if it can compete.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking E over A now.
E over A, okay.
This one's coconut.
Coconut.
Smell it.
No, I'm going. So F, A, and E are my top 3.
F, A, and E.
Yeah.
All right, so that leaves B, C, and D.
You gonna do the bottom 3 first?
Yeah, I'll do the bottom 3 first.
Ooh,
Bottom 3.
you go back to C now. Wow, that's fruity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still really good. It just doesn't. I don't think it stands up to F.
All right. So B, we'll do the bottom 3 first,
Okay.
if you want. So B is like an old soul pick. So it's out of Mississippi, but they source MGP, so it is a 21%. And this is a distillery pick. So
I have never had Old Soul.
So we were kind of going with MGP, right? Because we know you like Penelope.
I do like the MGP.
And so we wanted to see if you've had other like NDPs from them. So this one is 109 proof.
That one blew my mind because you're right. If somebody gave this to me in a blind and said one of these is a light whiskey, I would have picked it. Or just even said type, I would have picked this as light whiskey.
So it's a bourbon. So yeah, it's C. You were correct. It is a sherry finish. It was the Sagamore.
Oh.
Sagamore sherry.
Oh, that is sherry.
Yep.
That's a lot of berry.
Yeah. So 106 proof on that one from a couple of years ago. I think this one was D.
That's fruity for a sherry. I don't typically get like red berry. I typically get darker, kind of more like a fig, kind of raisin.
Maybe it was the rye. I don't know. Messing around with
the rye
flavors in it.
Yeah,
ryes take a finish better.
And then D.
That's good.
Delta was let's see. NBC, it was a 5-year bourbon hood pick.
So and which one was that one?
That one was D, Delta.
D. Are you holding your eyes when I do that?
It's going to focus on my face.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even if I present it, it's going to focus on his
I'm like, you can look. It's not a surprise.
It's all for the camera.
So it's a young MGP. So 5 years, 108 proof. So
I like NBC. I have Houdini, and then I had an NBC rye.
Yeah.
Yep.
So those are it's hard to beat.
Yeah, well, and especially if you see the NBC small batch blends, they do a 6-year small batch bourbon and a 7-year small batch rye, and they're priced at like $65 and $75.
That's a good deal. Sometimes they can get up there.
Exactly.
That's my only complaint with NBC.
Yeah, some of their single barrels are a bit too much sometimes.
So your top 3 was it FEA?
Yes. F was number 1, E was number 2, A was number 3.
All right. So we'll do A. So A, another single barrel from MGP. Let's see. It is a Hirsch.
I've never had Hirsch.
And so it's a 9-year. So they sort another NDP. So a lot of their stuff is supposedly sourced from Willet.
That makes sense, though, the high rye. Right?
Yeah. So this is a 36% rye.
It throws me off. I did not pick the Sagamore higher. I typically do pick rye.
Yeah.
But that's really good.
Yeah. So I think it was 9, almost 10 years when they bottled it. It's really good.
It is.
So E is one of my favorites. It is a Redwood Empire haystack needle. It's a 12-year MGP finished
Cab Sav casks.
Yeah.
Wow.
That explains the grapey.
Yeah.
That does explain where that grapey note, the dryness.
So they were all hovering in that, relatively, what would I say, 106 to 110
That's really good.
Proof, with the exception of your first, which was a Penelope American light whiskey. It was the 13 year.
Up.
At 134. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was F.
So even without knowing, I picked Penelope.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm not sure my husband will see any of that. God, that's good. That's really good. Yep. That one, it just reminded me. Actually, it did remind me a lot of Irish whiskey. It did. Yeah. These are all so good. Thank you, guys. Honestly, this has been one of the best flights geared toward like what I like, but in bourbon.
Yeah.
And this was so much fun. This was so much fun.
Yeah, we were hoping to gear it towards, what we knew you liked.
Yeah.
Now we'll have to send you one at a different time that might be favorites or something that might get you to branch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we definitely need to send you, if you haven't had it. I don't think we had picked it up at that time. The Rebecca Creek, the double barrel Spanish oak.
Oh,
What's
yeah, I
that?
haven't had that. Mm-mm.
So it's MGP, but it's aged in Texas, aged in Spanish oak. It is dark.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the European oak cast too. Obviously I think I'm just more used to it, but
Yeah.
I do like the European oak cast.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to talk. I do think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna send you guys completely separate. I'm gonna probably ask you a couple questions, find out kind of what you like, and send you 2 completely different flights. That would be so much fun.
That would be.
That sounds great.
So what do you guys have coming up with the coffee releases with channel?
Yeah, so coffee, we ordered almost 100 pounds of coffee last week, and it all shows up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
You're making coffee.
yeah, so we'll be making some coffee. So we're trying out a new supplier out of Pennsylvania and seeing what they have. So we got some new honey processed, which very general sense of honey processed is when they dry the coffee beans, they leave the cherry on the outside, so it becomes sticky like honey.
Ooh.
So we have an Ethiopian honey processed, an El Salvadoran honey processed coming in, and a Honduran honey processed.
We'll do another barrel aged here before long.
Yeah, because we helped Dan pick the Sonic Boom with Hello Again Whiskey Friends, and we picked that barrel up to age coffee in, and we actually have another barrel that we got to go pick up in Memphis on Wednesday from Fueling Station, or Old Dominic, that we helped Jeff and Kelsey and them pick back in May. So lots of stuff.
That'll be so much. I love the other bourbon barrel aged coffee that you had. Those honey releases, those sound amazing. And I'm on my last bag. So if you guys have not tried, try the Drift Drams coffee. I've got the link pinned at the top. The coffee is really, really good. We make it. We go through so much of it. We absolutely love it. My husband loves it as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really glad that y'all enjoy it. We're trying to figure it out and get it out there a little bit more.
You guys roast the beans, right?
We do.
Yep. Yeah. We keep anywhere from 50 to, well, soon it'll be 150 pounds of green beans at any given time.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot.
All right. So coming up on my channel, I'm trying to get the date here. It is November 6th. Is it? No, it's the 7th. I'm sorry. It's the 7th. It's not going to be on my channel, but it will be. Make sure to share the link on Freedom Malts. He typically streams on Instagram, but he is streaming on both platforms, on YouTube and Instagram. So I'll make sure to share it with everybody. I'm going up in a blind flight against Shy Girl Taste Whiskey, who is an Instagram, one of the whiskey gram people. He's already sent me the flight. I can already tell you, just looking at the whiskey, it ain't bourbon. One of them might be. The other 2 are definitely not. So I've got my husband kind of helping me and training, because I know Freedom Malts has a lot of Scotch, and Scotch I'm most weak at. So it's going to be interesting.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of blind flights. So I usually second guess myself. Usually my first instinct is usually right. And then I start, well, I don't know. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to actually review his list again, because he's given us a list of what he has. So I'm going to review that again and do some training. Might even have to post a training video or something. But this week I am going to release a video. I did manage to get it recorded this last week for the new Gold Spot 13 year, comparing that to the original 9-year that came out. So it is in some US states. I don't think it's everywhere. We never got it in Ohio. They didn't have as many, and then hopefully, and then I'll get it scheduled to have you guys come back on and do a flight of Irish.
Yeah, sounds
So
great.
thank you guys so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. This was so much fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Stacey.
All right, everybody go over to Kilco's stream. If you're still here, tell him I sent you. Go check out, I don't know if Livewire is going live tonight. I haven't seen anything from Mike or not.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Sure.
Check out keep your eye out. If live, they always go live at 9 if they're going live tonight. But otherwise, I will see you next Sunday. Sláinte, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.